Well, in keeping with our health theme, from vodka to posture, have you ever seen yourself on video or film the first time and you look at the way you stand or walk and you say, ooh, I guess the doctor was right when he was talking about my posture? I know that happened to me years and years ago. I've got sort of a rounded shoulder, if you will. And so when I ran across this article in the Wall Street Journal last week about a shirt, they call them posture shirts. I have to say I was intrigued. The group is called AlignMed, and they have a posture shirt that utilizes sort of a mini massage with elastic bands to get you to stand up straight and to strengthen those tired muscles in your back and neck and around your cervical area and all of that. Anyway, the fellow that came up with this, and I find it really fascinating, is Bill Schultz. He's been an innovator in the development and distribution of orthopedic recovery methodologies for quite some time. As I say, his latest venture is called AlignMed Inc. They design and manufacture this functional apparel that helps your muscles recover and helps you improve your posture. Joining us now is indeed the CEO of AlignMed, Bill Schultz. Welcome to the program.
Hey, thank you so much for the introduction.
Thank you,
wonderful.
Sir. I appreciate it. This is really intriguing stuff. Why don't you give the audience a little bit how you came up with this? Because usually they'll tell you, sit up straight, walk straight, and it's a constant battle to remind yourself to do these things. This is sort of an automatic training mechanism, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. The history is about 10 years ago, in my mid-40s, I had a protruding disc in my lumbar spine. And the options and the option for me were physical therapy, drug therapy, or possible surgery. And I had actually been in the orthopedic business all of my life in the development of orthopedic instrumentation, implants, and the distribution of it. And I knew the downsides if I was to have surgery or the other options. So I was looking, and I looked long and hard to see if I could find an alternative that would help me. And an orthopedic friend of mine informed me that he had a friend who was using a form of putting a taping technique. There's elastic skin taping that's used for therapy now to fire muscles.
Yep.
And this
see it all the time.
Yeah, and you see it in sports. It's getting more and more prevalent, mainstream physical therapy now. Well, this guy had the vision to incorporate those types of elasticities attached to a shirt. Excuse me. So a form-fitting shirt that you attach these bands to, and they would fire the muscles, and it would help the muscles on each side of the body to balance out, and that would help my bulging disc. Now, there was no research or clinical data behind this, so I was very skeptical. In my background with regulatory affairs and getting everything FDA approved before you make a claim, I was very skeptical. But when I put the product on, it was a crude derivation of what we make today. I could feel something happening. I could feel my neck and shoulders being gently pulled back and a relief from my pain. And so I dove into this thing, wore it on my computer, trained in it, and lo and behold, my back pain and symptoms in less than 4 weeks had gone.
What?
And so,
yeah. Before we get to the way AlignMed has incorporated the elastic band, give us the physical therapist view of what an elastic band does, because people see that on tennis players, a few football players, baseball, they'll just have this big elastic band across a part of their leg, or a big elastic, looks like the old athletic tape, but it's black or something. What are the mechanics behind that? What's it supposed to do?
Well, the difference between that and the old taping for the ankles and so forth is that it has an elasticity to it, and the reason they put that on a certain muscle or muscle groups is to cause those muscles to react or to fire or activate. Okay, so they want to activate a muscle that, for whatever reasons, isn't responding well. For example, if you got a bad knee as a runner, or if you're a thrower and you have a bad shoulder, they would put the tape in a certain configuration that would best fire the muscle groups for that joint.
And just the pressure on the muscle makes it react. It says, okay, the muscle feels pressure. I've got to fire.
Yeah, we call it the fly on the hand. Even though a fly or an ant weighs a fraction of an ounce, if it was on your hand or it was on your neck, it would cause a reaction to you, and the muscle would twitch. That's a muscle activating.
Okay.
So
now you've got the idea, brilliant as it is, to say, wait a minute now. If you can do that for an isolated muscle, and as one person put it in this article, you may have some underlying postural issues that cause an imbalance between your strong muscles in the front, your pectoral muscles, and weaker back muscles, which I happen to have, unfortunately. And so if you could, it would be kind of hard to tape that up every day. If you could put it in a shirt that causes some muscles to fire and not so much pressure on others, you may be able to fix some of this imbalance.
That's correct. It's easy to use. You can use it at your choosing. People always ask, is this a workout shirt? Our response is, you can use it to work out it, but it's just as good to use when you're behind a computer or when you're sleeping. We have a posture in our sleep as well. So you can control when you wear it, how long you wear it, how many days, and depending on what your body is all about.
Yeah, like Aisling told me when we were booking this segment, she said, well, it depends on when you take your vitamins. That's when you take the shirt, if you like to wear it every day or this or that. But does it also massage the muscle? Is that something different?
Yeah, there's two main differences in the this versus taping, the type of therapy it is. The way the bands are configured from your neck down your shoulders to your spine and to your core, it's called kinetics, and we take the forces. If you have forward shoulders or a forward neck, and we want to pull that back into alignment, we have to deliver that force down to your core. So the bands come down the back, and then they bottom out at your glute muscles. It's about 6 inches longer than a regular T-shirt, so we can deliver to your glutes, your butt muscles in a kinetic chain. And the skin taping doesn't do that. Okay. And the other thing that happens is we're finding more and more in our research that it creates a biofeedback. It's an unconscious reminder, whether you forget to have the thing on or not, for you to have postural cues, for you to have good posture. That's very important. The cues are very important.
Yeah, because I don't know how many times my doctors told me, you sit up, straight your posture. When you're sitting, especially, Jason, you slouch and sit up, and you get tired of reminding yourself.
Yeah. Well, what we found out is it's very difficult to tell somebody all the time to have good posture. And people don't necessarily like being told to eat their peas and carrots or their castor oil or to go on a diet. So this thing works. You don't have to think about it. When you put it on, it creates a mini massage on the muscles. And what's important about our mini massage is that it's over a period of time that the wearer chooses.
What is the proper posture that this shirt might provoke? That is there's a bit of a debate about this. I've gone to physical therapists who say the old notion of a inverse curve in your back is really bad. Don't do that. Roll your shoulders a tad, but primarily suck in your gut. Where are we on the scale here?
Okay. The rule of thumb, depending on who's talking or who's criticizing, is that the shoulders and the neck should balance over the center of your hips. Okay? If it's leaning, we never lean backwards. We always lean forwards. You had mentioned it earlier. Yeah. Sitting at a desk or driving a car causes the pectoral muscles to tighten and get shorter. Then what happens is the rhomboids and the lats in the back of us, they elongate. And what that does when you stand up, it's a bad workout. It creates a forward shoulder and a forward head that is not directly above the hip line.
Interesting. You've got some experiments here. I think you've been working with USC and some baseball players, and according to this Wall Street Journal article, the evidence is pretty good. It's hard. This is just a new product, so not a whole lot of experience here. But I found it intriguing with the baseball pitchers, I should say, and the blood flow to the arm. So let's continue when we come back. The shirt is called AlignMed, and it'll improve your posture automatically. Bill Schultz, the president and founder, is our guest. We'll wrap things up with Bill on the other side. Stick around.
Whatever made me think that I was number one, I ought to know. Easy come, easy go.
Somebody ever tell you to stand up straight? How about if you could put on a shirt and it would do it for you? Nearly. That's what Bill Schultz, the founder of AlignMed Inc. of Santa Ana, California, says. The shirts are now on the market for about $100, depending on whether you want a lightweight model or a heavier one. Some are adjustable. So most of them pull the shoulders back firmly, provide support for the core and upper back, and in doing so, and by the way, biofeedback is the cutting edge in medicine these days, trying to literally, in sort of a Pavlovian way, train people into doing the right thing. This shirt will help you do it, so says our guest, Bill Schultz, founder and CEO of AlignMed. We were talking about the research during the break. As I say, this Wall Street Journal article, which I saw and got me intrigued in this, was a very nice article, and it showed that there is some statistical proof here of increased blood flow to the arm of a pitcher in baseball that wears this shirt. People, sitting at their desk and a computer, all sorts of things. Now you're starting to get some professional golfers and athletes wearing this stuff.
Yeah, we've got in the major leagues, in basketball, NFL, hockey, golfing, we've got hundreds, literally. And then this is a snowball that's not stopping. The research platform we have, you mentioned the USC School of Medicine. They wanted to see if this could change accuracy, velocity, and blood flow in the upper extremity of throwers. So that test came back, and we increased immediately versus wearing nothing or a compression garment. The miles per hour pitch by 1.4 miles per hour with no loss in accuracy and a 5% increase in blood flow to the arm. Now, that means a lot to an athlete, but an increase in blood flow to the arms means a lot to everybody.
I'm so glad you brought up compression garments. They are the latest rage, have been for a number of years now. And the first thing that pops into my head or the head of a listener is, well, how is this different than a compression garment?
Okay, yeah, that's our big thing at AlignMed. We do not like the word compression. We don't use it, and we don't incorporate it into our clothing. What we incorporate is a form-fitting chassis that we mount elastic bands to that are equal on both sides of the spine. And those bands are dynamic, and they move with you. They don't prevent you from moving. They enhance your movement, and they enhance the position of your joint. So the short story is, we are not a squeezing shirt. We are a controlled resistance upon your muscles. That's the big difference. Different
areas of the shirt are doing different things, whereas if you wear just a compression garment, it's doing the same thing everywhere.
Right. We do this thing called muscle mapping. We map how muscles contract and how they work in a kinetic chain from your fingers, from your toes to your core. And then we copy that map when we place the bands in the garment.
Well, the research on this, how old is your company?
Almost 10 years.
But the shirt has just hit the market when?
Just recently have we been marketing strongly, given all of our research is in now.
I mean, that's a long time to research something. So obviously you have some people.
A long time and a lot of money and a lot of being and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But now it's going to market, and as I say, the verdict is looking pretty good right now. What ongoing quality control do you have right now? I mean, I imagine you're going to have different designs down the road.
Yeah, I would love to tell your listeners this is a new technology, and it's a wonderful, cost-effective solution to managing pain and mobility. And we're continuing our studies. We're doing a balance study right now where we believe we can cut back on falls in the elderly by creating a balance garment for them.
Really?
Yes, and then in fact we're in the middle of a study right now where the results look really good.
I wonder how much back pain in the lumbar region, or for that matter, any place in the back, is due to muscle imbalance. One muscle stronger than another.
Well, that's what happens to us. If we're dominant on one side of the body, or we drive a car with one hand, or use a computer mouse, or throw a football, we use one side more than the other, cause an imbalance, and then something gives way. It might be a disc that protrudes. It might be a knee that wears out, but something's going to happen. So what's very important at the top of the pyramid is our form or our posture. It dictates how healthy we're going to be. It's not just diet. It's our form is of equal importance.
So are you getting physical therapists signing on, I presume?
Physical therapists, but at the same time, we have as many MDs, orthopedic guys, neurologists, physiatrists who are jumping on as we do physical therapists and chiropractors. And now we have a lot of athletic trainers as well who are incorporating this. We're even having studies where this would replace skin taping. Skin taping is very expensive.
And cumbersome, I would think, trying to get the right thing at the right spot and doing it after every workout.
Right.
It really is a fascinating area of research, and I am intrigued by it because posture is probably responsible for a whole lot of back and neck problems, and it's very difficult for the average person sitting at a computer desk or even walking down the street to do this. Remember, stomach in, shoulders back, but stomach not out. I mean, it's just a bunch of stuff. And if you could, as you say, through biofeedback, train somebody, I think you may be onto something here.
If you've got a constant reminder that's comfortable, that is a wonderful place to start.
What about the legs? It looks like they're just shirts so far.
Yep. So what we've done now is we've moved to the lower extremity, where a lot of knee problems are associated with the way you walk or the way your hips are.
Right.
Our hips can lean forward, and if that happens, we start eroding our hip joint. We start having pain in our lower back. Everything starts dragging forward. So we have a way to connect the knee with dynamic banding. We call them neurobands to the core. So in other words, in our first endeavor, we went from the head to the core. Now we're going from the foot, the knee, to the core.
Really fascinating stuff. If people want more information, where do they go?
Please go to www.alignmed.com. If they enter Jason Lewis at checkout, they'll get free shipping. They'll get a 10% discount, and everybody gets.
Go ahead.
Oh, and everybody gets a 100% return guarantee. If it doesn't do what we say, you can send it back.
It's AlignMed.com.
Yeah, AlignMed, M-E-D, like Dave is with a D.
AlignMed, AlignMed. Well, glad to have you on the program, Bill. Good luck with this fascinating article that got my... I'm going to have to get online and get some more stuff. So thanks so much, Bill Schultz from AlignMed.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. My pleasure. Folks, back tomorrow. We'll do it all over again. See you then, everybody.